If you want to learn how to max out your damage output, health, defense, and a little bit of everything else, then this video is for you. We're going to be focusing more so on tuning in Where Winds Meet, and essentially you can tune every single piece of gear to boost the amount of power you get from it. To be more specific, if you jump into your gear tab and take a look at some of your items, you're quickly going to realize that all of them have either 0 dots or multiple dots on the bottom right side of them. That essentially indicates the number of perks on that item. For example, this random drop I got has one pre-selected perk here, and most items do have one pre-selected perk. The item on the left had a purple quality perk, which was a little bit higher than most, as well as 2 additional perks that I added through the tuning process. What's nice is that you can basically tune every single piece of equipment that you can equip. So as you can tell, there's a handful of different perks you can actually get through tuning as well, like pushing the minimum and maximum physical attack. You can get crit rate, you can get HP, agility, precision rate, and even get very specific perks added towards certain martial styles, such as a boost for empowered attacks for Infernal Twin Blades. We'll get to that later on in the video too. But as you can see too, every single perk has a different color associated. You've got blue, you've got purple, you've got gold, and there's a few other colors in there too. But essentially the color of the perk itself indicates how good that individual perk is. You really want to go for purple and gold quality. So just to show you how exactly tuning works, you can use materials or gear to actually accumulate the points you need to gain additional perks and items. So as you can see, I'm clicking on items there. I highly recommend you do not use these tuning stones until the end game because you can use them for basically gear tuning of all tiers. So forget about that. As we are tuning level 51 gear, we can use the material required for level 51 gear or other level 51 pieces of gear themselves. There are certain items that actually have perks to increase the amount of experience you get when you use them towards tuning other pieces of gear. Yes, it can be a little confusing, but essentially every piece of gear has a purpose. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And most of the time, you're going to have some garbage items that you want to use basically as fuel to tune items like this timeless ring I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and lock this in, and I'm going to get 2 additional perks unlocked right there for this timeless ring. Keep in mind this is a little bit of a gamble because you don't really know what you're going to get until you actually tune it. Sometimes it bugs out too and just spits out some more materials towards you, so don't be surprised if that happens. And then there you go. As you gather more and more equipment, I do highly recommend that you do tune the pieces that you actually like the first pre-selected perk for. For example, I have maximum bamboo cut attack on that one, so I figured I'd just continue tuning it. For this one, I had max at HP, which is also useful. But in a perfect world, I wanted to call out the ideal weapon to tune. So unfortunately, I did not listen to my own advice. I would not tune anything that has just the preset perk for increased experience when you use it for basically fuel to tune other items. Instead, I would look for items that you really are a fan of that have a preset perk that is purple quality or higher in the category that you want. So for example, I really do want to focus on maximum bamboo cut attack just because I use weapons within that category. So this would be the ideal weapon that I would want to use to tune up because it also fits into the specific set bonus I'm going for too, which is Swaying Heights. So again, if it matches your set bonus you're going for and has a good preset perk, then it's worth going for it and actually tuning up that piece of gear. As we progress our characters further and further, it's going to be more and more of a gamble and more of a crossing our fingers in hopes that we get a good perk when we actually do lock this in. So I'm going to go ahead and tune this one just to show you guys another example. And again, not ideal. I mean, I don't really want stone split attack. Power is nice, dash damage is meh. If we actually look at the mastery though, you can see this one will outperform the mastery of my previously equipped one. And I actually have some more useful stats here too, especially that maximum bamboo cut attack really helps me out. Plus power is pretty useful as well. So I'm probably going to go ahead and equip this one, and I'll end up using that old one most likely for fuel to tune additional items down the road. Again, not the ideal situation, but it is what it is. This is a friendly reminder: if you enjoyed this video or any other ones that you've seen from me, consider liking and subscribing for more content. Next up, I want to talk about attuning, which is the final step of this tuning process. So I'm talking about these crazy perks that you see right there, the Infernal Twin Blades empowerment right there. You can basically get a very intense additional 5th buff on certain items through the tuning process. So for example, this pendant right here, I've got my 4 perks, and I can actually select a attuning path to help solidify what that 5th perk is going to be. So I typically use items in the bamboo cut category. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that in, and it costs a attunement stone in the doom category because I'm using this for level 51 gear. And there you go. It looks like I got some boosted skill damage for the immortal rope dart, which is good too because I do tend to use the dual blades and the mortal rope dart every now and then. Sometimes I use the fan, as you can tell from my screen here, but those 3 weapons I tend to play around with quite a bit. Helpful tip too: in order to actually get that material you need for that 5th tier of tuning, you need to do certain activities. So at level 51, if you scroll over the different rewards, you will eventually come across this one right here, the Attunement Stone Doom, which again is what you need in order to actually get the fuel needed for that 5th level of tuning. So consider doing some of these activities specifically. It does cost stamina. There is a catch, of course. You can't just get these for free. So keep that in mind as well. I mean, you can kind of rinse and repeat certain ones, but lower leveled challenges, kind of like the ones I'm showing right here, will not offer that specific material as a reward. So keep that in mind as well as you're continuing to progress and trying to gather up these materials to tune all of your gear and really max out your character as much as possible. And that covers it. If you learned something new or just enjoyed the video itself, consider giving it a like, commenting below, and also subscribing to stay tuned for more Where Winds Meet content down the road. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.